Welcome back to TPS. The Super Bowl is an event that is rich with tradition. And among all of the glory and grandeur of the big game, there is no tradition more spectacular than a Super Bowl ring. After all, what good is it to win a championship if it doesn't come with some awesome bling to go with it? But that being said, not all Super Bowl rings were created equally. In fact, some, well, let's just say the owners really dropped the ball on them. Let's take a look back through Super Bowl history at the 5 best and 5 worst Super Bowl rings of all time. At TPS, we post videos every single day, so don't forget to click the subscribe button to subscribe. Then click the notification bell to be notified when we post a new video. Number 5 best, Super Bowl 51. Super Bowl 51 was one of the most memorable iterations of the big game in recent memory. At this point, everyone knows the story. But how can we not pay homage to one of the most famous or infamous comebacks of all time, depending on who you were rooting for? The one, the only, 28-3. The 3 words that say it all: Tom Brady and Bill Belichick absolutely embarrassed Tom Ryan, Kyle Shanahan, and the rest of that dynamite Falcons team to once again cement their legacies in NFL history as the all-time greats. And as any good team owner would do when such a feat is accomplished, Patriots owner Robert Kraft rose to the occasion and had his creative team design a ring that tells you all you need to know about what the Patriots accomplished. A 5.1 carat behemoth of a ring, which was the largest ring in history at the time. But what made this ring truly special was the 283 diamonds, a number that was chosen specifically to commemorate the 28-3 comeback, in what has to be one of the most expensive troll jobs of all time. 5 worst Super Bowl 21. Okay, listen, I do think that some NFL teams have gotten a little bit carried away with making their rings so over the top in terms of luxury. But when you look back at the 1986 Super Bowl, which was won by Bill Parcells, Lawrence Taylor, and the New York Giants, it's impossible to ignore the fact that the Mara family absolutely dropped the ball with their celebratory rings. I mean, I appreciated the attempt at working in the Giants blue, and the Lombardi trophy in diamond form does look pretty cool. But when it comes together, the ring just looks tacky, like something you would get at a moving ceremony in elementary school, or for winning your Pee Wee football league. I mean, that was not the intent when the Maras dropped thousands of dollars on a 1.2 carat ring. These rings were so mediocre that when former Giants player Bobby Johnson was down on his luck and selling it, he got just $250 for it. Talk about a swing and a miss from the Giants, huh? Number 4 best, Super Bowl 5. Okay, this one might be a little bit of a personal pick, but I think the design of the then Baltimore Colts Super Bowl ring from 1970 is insanely cool. The ring is 10 karat gold, giving some solid weight to it, and it features the team logo in white and gold and sapphires. I mean, come on, this ring looks great. The ring also holds some historical significance in my mind, because while the early Packers Super Bowl rings sort of feature their logo, theirs is not nearly as deliberate as the Colts ring. Having this horseshoe so clearly displayed in the middle of the ring and designed as delicately and decadently as it was, completely changed the game for championship rings, if you ask me. It set the standard for customization and really setting out to honor the team in a special way. Besides, the ring was celebrating the first and only Super Bowl championship that Johnny Unitas ever won. Sure, he had 3 NFL titles back before the merger, but this helped to firm up his place in the history books, which for a legend like Unitas deserves some shine. Number 4 worst, Super Bowl 42. Super Bowl 42 is another one of the all-time greats, the underdog Giants simply uprooting the 18-0 Patriots, who looked completely unstoppable all season. The game featured a couple of all-time plays, including, obviously, the David Tyree helmet catch. For all intents and purposes, this contest will continue to go down as one of the single most significant upsets in the NFL's history, especially because it spared us from having to listen to Patriots fans boast about being the first team and the only team to go undefeated in a 16-game season, which, let's be honest, would be unbearable. The rings, however, were a bit of a disappointment. I know Michael Strahan famously said,
"We want a 10-table ring."
10-table ring.
And they said, "What is a 10-table ring?" I said, "When I walk into a restaurant, I want to see that sucker from 10 tables away."
But as far as I'm concerned, these rings could hardly catch my attention from 1 table away. They came out bland, basically all in one tone, and with a design that hardly lives up to the hype of such an epic victory. Let's just say this was not Tiffany & Co.'s best work, not by a long shot. Number 3 best, Super Bowl 1. I would be remiss not to include the OG of Super Bowl rings on this list. The 1966 championship, when legendary Packers head coach Vince Lombardi took home a trophy that would be retroactively named after him by winning a title game that would eventually be named Super Bowl 1. To commemorate the victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, Coach Lombardi consulted 2 of the team's captains on the design, and they came up with what I think is a great blueprint, especially for an early ring. The ring sports a 1-carat diamond set in a globe of white gold, and while it might not have the glitz and glam of the ring the Packers made the following year when they repeated as champions, the original Super Bowl ring set a precedent for this epic tradition. That alone deserves some recognition. Imagine if Lombardi and the Packers skimped out, or if they had chose some lame tradition like Super Bowl pins or something. That could have changed the entire trajectory of pro football. 3 worst Super Bowl 8. Okay, for an all-time great dynasty, the early 70s Miami Dolphins really did not know how to design a championship ring. Dolphins owner Joe Robbie had a pretty cool ring commissioned the previous season after completing the one and only perfect season in NFL history. But when the team repeated in 1973, he got a little too cute trying to honor both championships in one. Robbie had a second diamond slotted in the middle of the face of these rings. These twin diamonds were meant to recognize the back-to-back titles. A good idea, but poor execution as it came out looking like a pair of binoculars. Not only does it look like a pair of dingy binoculars, but they also stripped down the diamond bordering the face of the ring, which is one of the coolest parts of the 72 championship ring. All you really need to know about the Super Bowl 8 ring is that it meant nothing compared to its predecessor. Check out what Dolphins legend Larry Little had to say about it. I don't even know where it is. It's somewhere in the house. My wife put it up. Yeah, that kind of testimonial will get you slotted on the list of worst rings in a heartbeat. 2 best Super Bowl 50. Super Bowl 50, a unique game in and of itself as it is the only Super Bowl to not be marketed with Roman numerals. Instead, donning a big clean 50, which, let's be honest, makes the whole thing much simpler. Anyway, Super Bowl 50 was famous for being Peyton Manning's last ride off into the sunset, albeit one that he was carried to by a dominant Von Miller-led defense. But it was an epic victory to attach to his resume nonetheless. Although the game itself wasn't too exciting, as the Broncos manhandled Cam Newton's Panthers, the rings came out awesome. Between the big gold 50 smack dab in the middle, to the classic Broncos logo beneath it, and the custom inscriptions on the inside, there really isn't a whole lot more that Denver could have done to make the design any better. It even has a phenomenal layout with the player's name, number, and the NFL logo on the side plate, which looks great too. All in all, this is one of the coolest designs that you will ever see on a championship ring. Number 2 worst Super Bowl 25. Super Bowl 25, the infamous wide right Scott Norwood Super Bowl. The beginning of a heartbreaking streak of 4 straight Super Bowl losses for the Buffalo faithful. It looks to me that the New York Giants took a page out of Joe Robbie and the Miami Dolphins book from their 73 ring, as the Giants made their 1990 ring with the 2-diamond design to celebrate having won their second Super Bowl in team history. I'm not particularly sure why, but it does hold the distinction as being the highest-selling Super Bowl ring, as Lawrence Taylor's son auctioned off his dad's ring for $230,000, which in 2012, experts believe was more than twice its actual worth. At least this one has some smaller diamonds lining the face of it, as it kind of takes away from the same binocular vibes that the Dolphins ring gave out. I will say though that the one feature saving the ring is the Lombardi trophies on the side of it. But I guess a mediocre ring is kind of what you deserve when you back into a Super Bowl title because the other team can't kick a field goal. Number 1 best Super Bowl 3. In the same way that the original Super Bowl ring set the precedent for commemorating a football championship in the Super Bowl era, the Super Bowl III ring was the first to establish the eternal one-upping that has taken place since. That big gleaming diamond on the face of the ring, the details on both side plates, this ring was in a class of its own when it was released. 14-karat gold, and it was the first ring to contain the word Super Bowl, as the game wasn't even called that until this season. Besides, it simply has to earn some bonus points because it coincides with one of the most epic Super Bowl victories ever. The Jets came into the game as 18-point underdogs, which is a laughably huge number, and their future Hall of Fame quarterback, Joe Namath, came out of the blue and guaranteed a victory anyways. I mean, how can it get any better than that? Can you imagine throwing on a ring that cool that you guaranteed in front of the entire world that your team would win with it? All things considered, it's an easy decision to slot this thing in at number 1. Number 1 worst, Super Bowl 34. 2000 St. Louis Rams are one of the most entertaining teams to ever grace an NFL field. The greatest show on turf, led by Kurt Warner and Marshall Faulk, torched opposing defenses. Their championship rings, however, leave much to be desired. They may have gotten a little bit carried away with the glitz and glam and forgotten some common sense. I mean, it's great to have such an expensive ring and all. I get that you want to make it over the top, but maybe keep it so that you can still actually make out the words on the front of it. That's why, for me, when you take into consideration how expensive the ring was, and how much effort was clearly put into making it look cool, the ring is undeniably a disappointment and the worst Super Bowl ring of all time. Which is your favorite Super Bowl ring of all time? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new here and you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do that by hitting that subscribe button. If you like the video, then hit that like button. We really appreciate it. And last but not least, don't forget to tune into TPS every single day for more cool videos. We'll see you next time.